The views expressed on this channel are only a few of many possible ways to achieve your desired outcome. The suggestions present on this channel are not one size fits all. So, let's begin. Hi, hello. So, we're going to do something a little different today. Something a little, I won't say relaxing, but different. So, today we're doing a mini shadow work course. Happy Saturday, by the way. Um, So as you can see here, usually I'm not zoomed out this much, especially if you're used to the lessons. You can see kind of all my slides here. Um, Sorry, I just drank some water, so I kind of got the hiccups. But I usually get the hiccups if you're used to my videos. We're doing mini shadow work today. Um, so let me just go and add a new page. Um, we will be working in our shadow work journal. Now we made this journal step by step together, totally for free in Canva. So if you want to make a journal like this, these types of pages, just follow the guide we did together. Now, this is kind of like a cover I slapped together. You can kind of see where the background is tiled a little bit, but I didn't need it to be perfect for me. See where I kind of blended in the tiles a little bit seamlessly down here. I didn't need it to be perfect. I just kind of was fooling around. We made a basic cover last time because I said this is not the design course. We just want something kind of cute. You're gonna have to play around if you want to make it cute. And I kind of on my own time played around with this. It's really not complicated. But if we're gonna get into design, I will do a whole design course. We have a shadow work course, a reality shifting course, an energy protection course, and a money manifesting course. But today we're doing a mini shadow work. Sorry the intro was so long. This is just the first mini session we're doing together. So I really wanted to introduce that. All right. I actually have nothing in mind specifically, which is I think is very fun for shadow work. I'm gonna ask some of the hard questions. So today is August. No, let me make duplicates because I like to have some pages blank down. Then we're going to move. All right, so today we're doing something a little different from what we usually do. I actually have no prompt in mind. Um, I just really wanted to do some shadow work. So before we get into the prompt, because I have no idea, let's go ahead and fill out um, this reflection sheet here. Let me fill out the reflection sheet here. And again, we made this together step by step. Um, so if you don't know how to do that, you want to follow the shadow work journal making guide. So remember, the date is always important. It's very good to track your progress. Very good to track your progress. All right, today's the 19th for me. It is Saturday, so a week has passed. Please have your journal open. Or if you haven't made this with us, get a paper journal. Because this is your shadow work, especially if you've been trying to get into it. You're just doing it like parallel play style alongside with me. I have no idea what I'm gonna put, but please get out a journal. If you haven't made this. Top three things I learned this week. I'm gonna be real. I feel like I haven't learned anything this week. Oh, we'll leave it blank for now. How do I feel? Very tired. I feel very tired, but not bad per se. All right. What was the best thing? I don't know. Try to fill out this sheet if you can. But I try not to force anything, so I'm not gonna force anything. So let's go on to the journal. What do I want to talk about? I think we'll do this. We'll do a check-in. Right, we'll do a check-in. So you do not have to make the what I'm about to make here. Just make sure you have your journal out. We're doing this, I would say live together, but it's not live. You're watching me try to do something. Um I'll do something a little like this. And I will do this. So we'll do a check-in. So we're gonna put some emotions here. I did not have the idea for this beforehand. I'm just kind of raw dogging it. And as you do your own shadow work, especially if you haven't bought the journal or anything like that, and you have to kind of make stuff yourself, Canva is free. I am using Canva, by the way. And you kind of have to, you could also write in journal. You kind of have to do stuff for free. You're gonna have to sometimes like raw dog. So this happy, neutral, sad. I kind of want to get like a chart of emotions so we can get a little bit more specific with the emotions. But I think this will serve me just fine. So there's happy, neutral, sad. I had sleepy. I had sleep. Uh, but I feel like if you check sleepy, you need to check at least one other box. So I feel like there's got to be. Uh, well, you know what? We'll make it like a bingo board. So we make it like a bingo board. We'll do emotions, feeling. You know, we won't do sleepy here. We'll do hungry, sleepy, restless. I'd rather put unmotivated than lazy. I feel like about lazy. I don't know about that word. I don't like that word too much. Because a lot of times people are burnt out and they don't realize it, or they're over. Oh shit! And they're over. Sorry, I cuss in this class sometimes. And they're overstimulated and they don't realize they're overstimulated. In fact, I'll put overstimulated. Now, I am not a doctor. I'm not a mental health professional, but in my personal experience, when I'm overstimulated, I mistake it as lazy and angry. Like I check lazy and angry. I don't want to do anything and everything's pissed me off. Usually it's just overstimulation rather than laziness. Um I need one more emotion. Happy, neutral, sad, angry. You know what, we'll do peaceful, but then we'll do bored. And I'll put them far apart. So I think there's a difference between peaceful and then I'll put wants. And now we'll break this down. So we need some type of stimulus. Uh And if you want to make this board in Canva, you're literally seeing, like, I'm not walking you through the step by step, but hopefully you can just kind of infer what's going on. And so you can use this on a daily basis because shadow work is just self awareness, just that deeper self awareness. But I feel like before we get into that deep self awareness, we can we can do stuff like this. Mm, entertainment. These are things to want. Rest, a meal. No, you know what? Food will get its own category, and I'll tell you why. Fid. Food gets its own category. Um, unbold. Make it white. So when you want something sweet, salty, savory, crunchy. I feel like this chart is might also be good if you want to eat something but you don't know what you want to eat. Crunchy, soft, like cake, soft, sweet, salty, savory, crunchy. One thing I've also noticed that well, not just me, but a lot of people, but me specifically, I tie a lot of emotions towards when I want a specific type of stimulus. Um, a lot of people, for instance, with ADHD snack a lot, but not because they're hungry. They do it to give themselves dopamine. So, in doing the shadow work, rather than saying, "Oh, I'm feeling angry and unmotivated," you might just be feeling overstimulated. Uh, you might need some stimulus. Why can't I jumpstart my brain? You might need some stimulus. So we're really trying to break down. I want entertainment. I want rest. Uh, it's like I I want to do something. Like I want to, I want to. I don't know. It's just a specific feeling. I can't break it down beyond that. It's like you feel like you want to do something. Like I need to be making something or building something, but I don't know what. Um, because sometimes they say, sit down, just sit down and write about your thoughts and feelings, or write about, you know, or just answer these pre-made shadow work prompts, which we might do. We might do, but before we get into all those pre-made prompts, I think we want to kind of jump into some of this. Thinking about, I think this thinking about column is very important. Entertainment would be books, movies, video games. Uh, what's something else? Now, when you make your chart, it does not have to have all these things. I am putting things specifically that will help me, but these are also vague enough that I feel like they can help anybody. So if you want to make yours look like this, you can. But if you want to add other stuff to this, you can certainly do that. Especially if you stem. Like I know I need to stem, but I don't always know specifically what I need to do to stem. Like I rock sometimes, but I think that's about it. I probably need to, like you would put stem, I want to stem or something. So there's a need chart, which I think is very good, especially if you are someone who tends to neglect yourself or get overwhelmed, like we talked about. So, and it doesn't mean this brushing the teeth doesn't mean like the first time for the first time that day. It could be depending on who you are and how you're doing, and especially if you're depressed or not. But sometimes throughout the day, you feel your teeth and you're like, I want to brush them again. I don't like that feel. So it might be um like this goes back to being overstimulated. Why do I feel just angry and unmotivated? Like I don't want to start anything. Sometimes Ironically, it's the clothes you're wearing. Your clothes are uncomfortable, and you can't pinpoint it to that. You just know you generally feel uncomfortable. So rather than writing in your journal, dear shadow work journal, dear diary, today I feel very angry and overstimulated, like I don't know what's going on. Consult the chart. Make your chart. Um, if you're someone who gets hangry, look at this chart. Do you, really kind of ask yourself this? I need to eat something. And then, well, what do I want to eat? So like it's already, and you can make as many copies of the chart as you want. It's kind of already ready to go. So things you need to do. Um, I say clean up. You don't have to put a specific room. Just clean up. Do we need to add any? I feel like this is enough to get started. We can always add more later. This is just a quick. So we ooh, I'm like sometimes you get a lot of let me see something real quick. I mean, a lot of times when people jump into shadow work, they just type in shadow work questions and then they begin uh just jumping into all sorts of a lot. Uh and I don't think anything's wrong with that, but I think one of the things about getting into shadow work is kind of starting from I'm like looking for something at the same time. I think one of the things about getting into shadow work is kind of not just taking those vague questions, not vague, but you know, questions other people ask all the time, and sometimes doing little stuff like this to make it more specific to you. I found a chart here I'm looking at in another tab, and we'll answer these questions together. But first, let's do some inventory. Um, I feel like this is also good. We talk about it a little bit in lessons. I feel like it's good because we're doing like a physical and mental. We'll do a mental stage or mental column. Uh, I feel like we need to do like a mental and a physical inventory because if you're like, I don't know, I just feel uncomfortable and angry today, and then you start jumping into answering those questions, you kind of like you don't understand your own energy. Why am I answering these questions and I feel kind of some type of way, kind of cranky or whatever, and it's just like you might be hangry. Did I add another delete? Wait, delete. And so, especially if you know you're hangry, or especially if you know you have not rested well, you don't have enough sleep, maybe not jump into the questions and take care of that. What is going on? And take care of that physical need first, right? This is bonkers. Like for me, I'm feeling tired right now. I feel tired all the time, and I want to do this. Might shrink this text. It is what it is. Actually, I want this to be. Like I said, I'm making this without thinking about this ahead of time. So mentally, what are some things you can feel mentally? Mind could be racing. You can also be daydreaming. For me, this is a big one. Uh, we don't really talk about synchronicities in shadow work. We talk about synchronicities in the reality shifting course, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be synchronicities. I think at the same time, keeping track of songs that get stuck in your head is very important too, because it's kind of keeping track of your mental state and what resonates with you, or what you're choosing to listen to in your free time. Sometimes the deeper questions do matter. So yeah, I listen to the song and the lyrics are terrible. They're terrible for me emotionally, but the beat is really good. As long as you can acknowledge that, right? Because some people can't even acknowledge that. As long as you can acknowledge, well, this is not the message I want to claim, but the beat just goes, right? I feel like you get pretty far being able to admit that. Um, I've been kind of listening to music like that lately, where I don't really vibe with the lyrics 100%, but I'm okay with the message. But now they're stuck in my head, and because I don't vibe with them or resonate with them fully, I feel like I have a little bit of a I wouldn't say creative block, but I can acknowledge that. Actually, let's put that in here. Uh, or a mental blockage. Um, I feel like I did not gain a new perspective. I feel like the things I usually ponder, I can't focus on because I'm focusing on other things. But at the same time, being distracted isn't always bad. This is not supposed to be another lesson. We are starting a creatives course, like a guide for creatives, and the very first lesson is about burnout, actually, and we build on this creative and mental block. Now, in the lesson, one of the lessons, I think it was energy protection. No, I think it was actually shadow work. We talked about how within the context of the course, creative block is kind of like that block from your subconscious, whereas that expressive block, well, here we go. Let me see. So we talked about how you can feel compromised in various ways. The creativity is kind of that block from your subconscious where you can't really create because you are disconnected from that source of creativity in your body. You're kind of just existing, but that living, that I don't know, whatever that it is that fuels your soul, you're disconnected from it, or whatever your soul wants to speak about. Your soul cannot use your body to be that the powerhouse it wants it to be because you are disconnected. So you're kind of existing, right? And then expression, we talked about how expression it would be like a disconnect from more like your mental self, like you're conscious, like you're consciously aware of what you want to say, what you want to do, but for some reason you can't get it out. So this doesn't have to do with just speaking, it can do with creating art. So it's like I know the art I want to create, I know what I want to do, but when it comes to me articulating it, I know what I want to talk about and I just can't do it. I have a block there. I consider that an expressive block. Whereas a creative block is where it's like, I know I like to write, I know I like to draw, I know I like to paint, and I need to do it and I want to do it and I gotta do it, but damn, I don't know what I'm gonna that's that subconscious. So this is gonna be that creative mental block. And then this bit the mental might be that conscious block. So now that I've explained it, you understand what this means. uh mental block, and then we'll make this that subconscious block. I'm blocked, like I feel like I'm blocked off from my subconscious. Now if you can't tell the difference, you can be blocked off from both. We talked a little bit about navigating from the ego versus the higher self, uh, and how the ego can feel inspired to do things, but it's ego driven, so it's not really higher self driven. So you can pursue things and they can even feel good, but it's because it's satisfying the ego, not so much the higher self. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. I actually think the best journeys in life involve a balance of satisfying the ego and the higher self, but it's a certain balance. I wouldn't even say it's 50-50, but it's definitely a balance. So I think this is a good chart to start with before we jump into some questions. And I'm doing pre-made questions. Um, elements, I'm gonna do it like a circle. I think I'll do like a circle. Usually I do like a check mark. Circle. I didn't really check the color of it. What's going on? There we go. And I'll make it kind of so I can kind of see what I've checked. All right, let's get into it. So hopefully you see what I'm doing. But in your case, you can make this chart in Canva. There's multiple things you could do. You can make this chart in Canva, and then in the upper right, you can't see it because the screen's cut off. But in the upper right, like you see my mouse like up here, like up. Oh, there's a share button. Oh, you can see it, the drop down. And you can download it as a PDF. You can like if you can make this page black and white, like you would have to change the background to like white. And then you can make this like gray. You can make grayscale it so you don't have to use like colored ink. You can have it colored if you got it like that, but you can make it black and white. So you would go to download and then you would go to uh you would check this page. So this is page or slide 7 for me. Current page, or I could scroll down and click 7. And then you can print like multiple copies of this. And then every day just kind of get a pen or pencil and check this. But if you don't want to print that, you would just duplicate this, right? And then if you want to really keep track of yourself, you could text a little bit of text and put the and you can just kind of do this every day, especially if it's hard for you to remember to journal every day. um I feel like this is good. Like it doesn't even have to be fancy. It God knows it doesn't have to be fancy. um Oops. So, and then when you duplicate it, just remember to change the date. No, you can do this multiple times a day if you really want to check in with yourself, because sometimes I do. So you could put, for me, I don't know about angel numbers, but it is exactly 2:22 p.m. right now. It is exactly 2:22 p.m. A confirmation for somebody. Is it confirmation for me? I guess. I don't know. I'm in alignment. I'm making my charts again. I'm in alignment, right? And so if you do this at multiple times throughout the day, you might notice a trend. Uh you might figure out you're a night person. So like if you when you do this every day at like around 2 p.m. or 1 p.m., you might find that you always check bored, sad, angry. But then when you do the chart at night, like 11 p.m., 1 a.m., you might be happy and peaceful. And that's why you keep track of like the date and the time. You can notice trends, right? And so, it is what it is. Uh, so today, for me, it is 2:22. So I'm going to check. Uh, I'm between. I'm between peaceful and bored. I'm between these two, to be quite honest. I want to add an. I want to. My problem is right now that I want to add another row, and I don't know what I want to put. I just don't like the way it's stretched out. I want to add. Know what I would add? What? I wish this was live. Now I wish this was live so I could be like, what should I add? No, I feel like inspired would go over here. Yep. I don't know. Mental. I feel like I don't know is a valid response sometimes. You know, we'll put I'm not sure. I like the way that sounds better. I think it's good to admit when you don't know anything. My only worry is that some people might put I don't know all the time for everything and then end up getting nowhere. Like they don't pursue well, I don't know, and then they don't make themselves like think past that. I don't know. Uh what other types of food are there? Sweet, salty, crunchy, need to chew, soft. Yep. Uh that binging fasting, because sometimes I do fast. Uh so I would check it. Um But then there's the binging. Sometimes I get in that like mukbang. Like I don't even want to eat, but I feel like I want to be like a mukbanger or mukbanger for a day and just I don't give a damn and just eat like a bunch of food. I know it would make me sick, but sometimes I do get that feeling. Thinking about the future, the past, something that hurt me, say something. Um, we'll put okay. Now we're ready to go. Now we're cooking. So not really this one, but I feel like if I tried to, I could do it. I feel closer to this than this. It's probably not this. It's probably this. Like this is probably this. And this is why I like this chart because I wasn't thinking like this. I wasn't thinking about it deeply until I made this chart. I was like, I don't know, I feel all right, but I feel off today. It's this for real if I'm being honest. It's this. I feel this. But I also feel that. I also feel this. But I also feel this. And I mean, no one's looking at it but you, so there's no problem with going, well, this doesn't make sense. Like, who cares? I don't feel consciously blocked because there's nothing that I really want to talk about. But I guess this would be what I want to talk about, and if that's the case, then I'm talking about it, so I'm not consciously blocked. I'm not really creatively blocked since I made this. I wanted to make it, and then I was able to kind of make it on the spot. So I wouldn't say, but I feel like I'm creatively blocked some other way. But I'm probably not even blocked. I'm probably overstimulated. See, when you make this chart, you can kind of draw the map. Um, because I'll wait to connect a few dots. I'll wait to connect a few dots. So make this chart printed out. You could use like a highlighter on it, or just follow along with me. I didn't really teach you how to make it, but you saw. And if you select just need to chew, see if you can pick what you want to chew. All right, so I got my chart done. So I feel like I'm gonna duplicate it now. Now you don't have to do this step, especially if you've got the pencils. But I don't know, you might want to. You'll see. Uh, so if I were to draw a connection between some things now, instead of me writing everything out, let me see. Now instead of me writing everything out, like, oh, I feel like this today. Now I can just do this. I'm gonna connect the ones that I think are connected. So I think I mean it's not perfect, but I don't really care. I don't care. Um, I'm just trying to. No, the line is not perfectly straight. If it bothers you, I don't know. I don't really know what to tell you. If it bothers you, I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to get my shadow work done. And that's the thing about shadow work. Like, it does not need to be aesthetic. I don't know what the hell. It does not need to be aesthetic. It's. I'm about to curse. It's goddamn shadow work. Like, I'm not. Now it can be aesthetic, but it's goddamn shadow work. There we go. All right. Now, if you want, you can kind of. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. No, I'll probably cut here, finish these lines, and then come back and talk about it. All right, so we have the connections made. Now, if you can't make any connections between any of these traits, that's totally fine. It is okay. I just noticed a pattern and thought I would connect a few. Um, I like that I have this version that just kind of vaguely just lets me list everything I'm feeling. But now we have this version here where everything's kind of connected. So, well, I do feel bored. I know that I also have this kind of restless feeling. Uh and I kind of looked at the whole chart. Well, I did it quickly, but just because I think very quickly. The more you do shadow work, the quicker you'll be able to do stuff like this too. But I knew I was feeling kind of bored for some reason, but I was also feeling very restless. And then I realized, oh, I probably just really want to choose something. And especially if you have ADHD, that goes back to that dopamine. So I could do this, like come into my journal. Remember when we did the we typed in check-in right here. I could put Jesus I need healthy ways to increase my dopamine. So that's on my mind. Um and I wasn't really like I said, I wasn't really upset, but I was feeling kind of off. Connected that to unmotivated. But then I do feel inspired at the same time. So I feel somewhat motivated, but it's kind of overshadowed by this. And well, I can know why I'm feeling unmotivated. Probably because I am sleepy. But what am I inspired? Why am I feeling inspired? And I'm like, well, what have I been doing these past couple of days? Well, I've been listening to a lot of different types of music, and some of the messages in the song have made me feel kind of inspired. So while I do feel kind of a little bit of this sadness, a little bit of unmotivated, I do feel a little bit motivated at the same time. It's related to what I've been listening to, and I realized that what I've been listening to has I got the hiccup, sorry, has been making me think about the future a lot. So I am kind of happy about the future, but it's the future, so it's like obviously a time that is not here, right? Um, in the future because we don't know what it looks like. It's partially fantasy, so you don't know what part's fantasy, what part's real for you. Um, and this is in past tense. I'm thinking about something that I enjoyed, but in this case, I'm thinking about something recently. Um, so hopping back to my journal. I don't know why I did that arrow. So I'm thinking about the future and how I'll be able to make a good future for myself, but the future seems so far away. Sometimes I feel like I should be doing something. Let's see, so that I feel like I should be doing something is that inspired, right? So I feel like I kind of want to be doing something, so I feel inspired. Uh, we're gonna make another chart too. So, I do suffer from chronic chronic pain. That's where some of my lethargy comes from. Now, those of us, hold on, delete column. Those of us suffering from chronic pain need to also remember that I wish there were hotkeys. If there were hotkeys, I would be doing this faster. uh, so those of us who suffer from chronic pain do need to keep in mind that we do get tired quicker. And every time people are like, the normal amount of pain you should be feeling on a daily basis is none. That is I've never experienced that, at least not without the help of medication. So we're gonna do like a chronic pain check-in. Uh, so head, face, neck, chest, heart, stomach. We have stomach. We have gut. We have back. Actually, up. We have back, stomach, gut, chest, heart, and this is we're gonna make this one shoulder. So head, face, neck, shoulders, chest, heart, stomach, gut, back. Uh, Now I usually don't get specific with the organs, but if you know what it is, like if you have an issue with your eyes, if you just know you have general chest area pain, I would log it here. But if you know it's your heart, like you have like arrhythmia or something, then I would check both of these. Again, this is not replacement for medical help. Go see a doctor if you can. But this is kind of that check-in too. Because that I feel chronically tired. I feel chronically exhausted and I feel like I can't do what I need to do. You also need to keep in mind that sometimes that subconscious block, like when you're blocked subconsciously, sometimes it's not even a block, you're just overwhelmed with like pain or overstimulation. But because you're used to being, it doesn't feel good, but because you're used to so much pain, your body thinks you're being like attacked or like eaten or destroyed or something. And it's just like, I don't have time to tell you what type of picture to paint. We're hurting, right? But you're not. That's why they say listen to your body. And so with your brain, you're like, yeah, I'm experiencing the normal level of chronic pain, but why can't I, get my creative workout? Why do I just want to rest? Because your body is wounded, right? Your body is very wounded, and it kind of needs. It's kind of trying to tell you that. And so while you can't totally give up life if you have chronic pain, like we can't give up life. We still got to do stuff, unfortunately. This just helps me keep track. So eyes, heart, um what's another organ? Kidney, liver. Uh, and you just gotta look up a picture of the body. But there are certain signs that your kidney and liver are not well. You're gonna have to look them up. But go see a doctor. Don't just WebMD it. Eyes, heart. I forgot what I was gonna put here. Lungs. You're not breathing well. Eyes, heart, lungs, kidney, liver, appendix. I'm gonna put other. Like, you gotta figure out what your other is. Legs, feet, hands. You know, I'll put stomach, gut, and back. Since they're kind of in the same area, they're different, but you're gonna have to clarify. Unless you want like a hella big chart. I mean, you can make a chart for every single part of the body. Uh, but for me, this will suffice. Uh, so, chronic pain, organs. Um, I'll put miscellaneous. So, acne. And then you would put where you're experiencing acne. So, I would put other. This is about 13 or size 13. Because where you're experiencing acne can indicate your inner issue. So you will have to clarify. Like for me right now, it is on the uh if you have acne on your body, on your back, or on your chest, that's where you would put that on and other too. What else? What else would go in miscellaneous? So if you actually look at your nails, your nail conditions can say a lot about you. Um, hold on. Like my nails used to be very brittle and break all the time, and I had to start taking certain supplements, and now my nails are hard again. So I know I have that deficiency taken away, and deficiency can lead to certain deficiencies. I'm not a doctor, so look now. You better go to a professional. But certain deficiencies in certain vitamins, A, especially vitamin D, like a deficiency in vitamin D can lead to like depression and sadness. But then a lack of vitamin D also manifests other ways besides sadness. So that's something you might want to look up to. Then there's magnesium. Um, if you're not sleeping well, if your sleep schedule is all off, you might be missing magnesium. But then magnesium deficiency also manifests other ways too. Um, so you might always be checking sleepy and then start, I don't know. I'm not telling you to, you better consult a doctor. You don't look. But I'm saying you might always feel sleepy. And you start taking magnesium, like a healthy magnesium glycinate. Uh, I think that's very bioavailable. And then you might notice that you stop checking sleepy so much. Or you start taking vitamin D. The capsules I have are very strong and I have to take them every other day. When I first started taking them, was taking them every day. I started feeling very bad because, yeah, these vitamins and minerals, just iron, vitamin D, the other ones, all of them, when you have too much of them, it can also ruin you. That's why you need to really pay attention to the dosage. But when I started taking them right, I started checking this box here less. So uh you can kind of look, sometimes you look at your nails, uh your hair condition. Are the ends dry? Is your scalp oily? Is your scalp dry? Flaky scalp is not just dryness. Uh a flaky scalp can be caused by multiple conditions, not just general dryness. So acne, hair condition, nails brittle. Actually, this will be skin condition. Is it oily? Is it dry? Does it look dull? Circulation, especially lower body circulation. Are your feet always cold? How do your hands look? Right now my fingernails are blue, which I know is not what you want to see, but I've had this since middle school, probably before middle school, but I've started noticing it in middle school. The blue fingernails usually indicates not enough oxygen in the blood. Usually indicates anemia. And so it takes us just right back to this. It takes us right back to this, probably right back to this. Rather than that unmotivated, you don't have oxygen being carried to the organs in your body correctly. So of course you don't feel right. So that's why we make this chart. Um, this was not going to be emotions. This was going to be something else, but so we'll run. You know, this will be like basic. So headache. So maybe you don't get chronic pain in the head or the face or the neck region, but you just happen to have a headache that day. Maybe you have an ulcer, because this is not just about chronic illness. Um, your mood might be bad because you have a tooth pain. So now we have something like this, which is sore throat. Now you customize it to you. It doesn't have to look like this. So if you know you frequently suffer from something, you might want to put that on here. So basic headache, tooth, mouth pain, and sore throat. Allergies, which I have all the time. What's something basic? Headache, tooth, mouth pain, and sore throat. Uh, you don't feel good after you eat. Give me one more. Dehydrated. What is the color of your pee? I'm not trying to be vulgar, but I'm serious. Usually I can tell when I am dehydrated just off of feeling alone, but sometimes you can't tell when you're dehydrated. So when was the last time you had some water? So now we're gonna fill out this chart too. So I'm gonna take one of these bubbles in standard purple. So I have a headache, kind of a little bit actually. I didn't earlier, but I do now. So it's now 2:59 p.m. at 3. Now that I think about it, I am feeling dehydrated. So notice how, and it's not about being a hypochondriac, like, oh my God, I totally am. But it's about doing that assessment. I just vaguely don't feel good about doing the assessment. So, but I probably have the headache because I already said that I was sleepy to begin with, right? So headache, not a sore throat, but my throat is dry and I'm feeling bloated, allergies. And so that's why before, I've said it before, but that's why before jumping into shadow work, sometimes you want to check um your physical condition because it's all connected, and you're like, oh, I'm feeling blocked off from my subconscious, and oh no, what mental work can I, how much meditation do I need to sit down and do? How about getting a glass of water? Right, how about taking something for your allergies and getting a glass of water? What meditations, what affirmations should I say to make me feel uh less depressed? It could be a vitamin D. No, I'm not a doctor. It could be a vitamin D deficiency combined with the fact that you have a terrible sleep schedule and you need to sleep more regularly. I don't know how many affirmations you could do to kind of undo that work, right? So we're going and I'm serious. Um, and then I'll put other. I'm feeling vaguely dizzy. But then that might just go back to anemia too, right? Either lack of sleep or the anemia. Fingernails are blue. So for others, for miscellaneous, I would put nails. Actually, let me look it up. So see, I just put acne on the different zones of the face. So they said breaking out on the left side of your face is linked to your digestive system. Specifically, the left is more connected to your liver. So eat more cooling foods such as winter melon, cucumber, green beans. So right side is connected to your lungs, which means you need to exercise more. I'm not really breaking out on my right side, but I also when I meditate, I do a lot of deep breathing. So, but so I'm breaking it on the left side. Surprise, surprise. Before I even knew that the left side was related specifically to digestion, I said my stomach was not feeling well. So you see how we're building a chart here, and you can't really do affirmations to kind of right. So we're going to put. I also feel like my circulation is just bad in general. My feet aren't cold, so I feel like my circulation has improved. But so so it all goes back to digestion then. Acne, acne on my chin and on the left side of my face. Oops. Uh, Also, I keep telling you, do not replace this with like a medical consultation. You definitely want to go to a doctor. But if you are keeping track of your symptoms like this, see how we have the date down here and the time. Your body may change during times of the day. And then since you have this tracker down, when you do go to the doctor, you'll be able to kind of let them know that this is what you've been going through, right? Um, you might hear kitty meowing in the back, but that's okay. So eyes, heart, lungs, liver, kidney, appendix. Personally, I feel like my kidney's okay, but because I have acne on the left side, they're like it might not, your kidney might not be great. But I'm gonna let this rock because there's no way I could diagnose this. The only way you would know is unless you already know. Uh, I feel pretty good. So we have this map now. So you could be feeling dizzy because you're feeling dehydrated. Could be dizzy because you have poor digestion, right? You're not taking in your nutrients, so you are eating, but essentially your organs are starving to death. So I'm not digesting nutrients. I'm not sleeping and I'm dehydrated. No wonder my headache. It's like it all just points back, right? No wonder I have a headache, especially with the allergies. So all of these kind of combine to super punch the headache. And I go back to this chart saying, "Oh my god, I feel unmotivated. I feel unmotivated. Might not be sad. It might be sadness. Might not be the motivator. It might be because of this. So if I really wanted to, I'd make it the same shade of red. I think this is the same shade of red. And I'm not drawing the lines between all of them. I could if I wanted to. Don't feel like it. Right? So I'm dehydrated. I'm not getting nutrients. Of course, I feel very bloated and in pain. Of course, it's my stomach and my gut that's not feeling well. Of course, I'm dizzy. I'm not getting nutrients. Of course, I'm breaking out because when your organs go a long time without getting nutrients, they begin dying and breaking down. Your organs are failing, and when they're doing that, uh, of course, you're getting acne. Of course, your nails are feeling brittle. Except for me, they're not brittle. They're just ridged, in blue. Flu is linked to deficiencies, but we're not in that. We're not doing all that. This is not health class. And so it's all red because I come back here and it's like, your body is starving to death. No wonder you feel unmotivated. Like you feel like you can't do it, but your brain's like, I know what I want to do, like wheezing. And think about the future, right? So sleepy. I'm feeling sleepy. I just want to daydream. I just want to dream in general. I just want to rest. Uh I should meditate to clear my head. But before saying I should meditate, I probably need to work on this emergency type of thing, right? No amount of affirmations is going to undo the fact that you need to be drinking a lot of water. Um, I do feel overstimulated. I need to clean up. But why do I feel overstimulated? Probably because I've been trying to meditate and affirmation my way out of what is probably an intense nutrient deficiency. They're going to put that in here. Look, and what do we say? I feel like I'm not doing enough, but I also feel very tired. Right, my body needs rest, but I need to get more done, but my body needs rest. Oh, I feel so tired, but it needs a rest. All right. So now that we have the chart done, this video might seem long, but when I said it was going to be a mini session, this was not mini at all. But we were spending a lot of time making this chart, and I was explaining a lot to you. So in the future, now it's just going to be a matter of putting down all the dots and then connecting them. Um, So now that we kind of know what's going on, before I jump into shadow work questions, I always uh want to do my check-in, because you'll take like a physical response you're having and attribute that to something that's unrelated, like, oh, I'm just feeling lazy today. You're nutrient deficient. Your organs are failing. You're not lazy, your organs are failing. Your body thinks it's dying. Body might actually be dying. Your body might actually be. I'm not your doctor. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you, but you know what I'm saying? You know, do your check-in. So now we're going to get into the questions, but we had to do this inventory first. So I need healthy ways to increase my dopamine. Sorry, I smacked my lips. I hate hearing when people do that. I need healthy ways to increase my dopamine. I'm thinking about the future and how I'll be able to make a good future for myself, but it seems so far away. I feel like I should be doing something to bridge the gap between the present and the future. I'm not sure what I should be doing. So here's where you would kind of highlight. Can I highlight this? I think I could if I did the whole thing. Let's make it bold. So here's how you kind of answer your own questions as you do shadow work, because you will answer yourself. So I should be doing something to bridge the gap. I'm not sure what I should be doing. Feel very tired. Uh, Nutrient deficient. Body is weak. Body cannot keep up. Like it's like you talk. It's like you're talking to yourself. It's a dialogue. Uh, Healthy is standing out to me. Increase. I need to be healthy. I need to increase my nutrients. I need to increase. Look, deficient. Increase deficient. I need to increase my dopamine. I feel nutrient deficient. I need to increase my nutrients. What's the opposite of deficient? Well, sufficient, but you know what I mean. To get to sufficient from deficient, you need to increase. So it's like you're speaking to yourself, and that's what shadow work is about. Not always just the deep, heavy questions like, "Oh my God, when was the first time?" You know, sometimes shadow work is just the basic basic. And unfortunately, a lot of us were not taught this by our parents and by schools. So we have not learned how to kind of do self check ins and how to self regulate. Um, So now we have a narrative here. I need to be, I'm not sure what I should be doing, but the answer is within this. I'm not sure what I should be doing to bridge the present and the future. I need to be healthy and increase. And increase. The body is weak. The body cannot keep up. How do I get to the future? I need to increase my nutrients and just get healthier in general, right? Not what affirmation should I be doing? Not what deep childhood question should I be answering? How about the bare minimum first, right? The bare minimum first. But now we're going to be getting into the deep questions and the affirmations. So I'll catch you guys in the video after this because this one is already long enough. And many people might just want to stop at the chart. They might just want to know how to make the chart. So I'll catch you guys in the follow-up.